Hello, fellow Amazonians. This is David from Wondopolo with another Amazon topic for discussion. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the generic listing hack that some people are talking about on the Amazon forums. And before I go into this Amazon discussion, the generic listing hack is where an Amazon seller creates multiple listings for the same product under the brand generic and without using UPCs. This way, they can swamp the search page of any keyword they're targeting with a handful or many generic listings for the same product that they own. And this is a trick where they try to box out other sellers so that they can dominate the real estate on the search pages. First, I'm going to go through this blog post and then we'll discuss a little more if this works and try to find it on the website to see if this trick is actually helpful or useful in achieving its goals. Let's take a look. Let's talk dirty. Generic listings are out of hand. Seller has 20 plus generic listings per item. This is single page of an Amazon search. I have whited out some of the images because Amazon's forum upload says these images are inappropriate. Well, in this case, for this post, they're looking up products that are adult toys. So that's why they're talking about it being inappropriate. Anyways, from what I can tell, the products are all sold by the same seller. You can see here it's a lot of adult toys that look very similar. If you can see here, very similar in a lot of them. You can tell like that the phone and the toy right next to it. It's in 50% of the search results. The seller has 20 pages of products. Each product is listed as generic about 20 to 40 times. Is this allowed? No, it's not allowed. This is crazy. How are consumers supposed to wad through all this junk? I also wonder what responsibility Amazon has in ensuring these items are even safe for consumers to use. It seems when items are sold directly by Chinese companies, they do not have to meet US regulations and no one on Amazon's checking. Good luck on anyone trying to compete in this category. Okay, so first impression, it's quite interesting that this seller was able to create so many listings using the generic listing hack and most of all rank pretty well on all of them in the search results. I would presume that the search term probably does not have many competitors. That way, even a low ranked or not or barely ranked generic listings are able to show up. I think that's the main reason why. I suspect that the generic listing hack won't work for highly competitive keywords or search terms because if you don't have sales for any single one of the generic listings, then it won't rank. If it doesn't rank, then it'll drop to the bottom of the search results, and the other products or brands will most likely be ahead of all the other junk generic listings. So I presume that if a seller does make 20 generic listings on the same product, maybe one or two would rank quite well in a highly competitive search term, and the rest of the 18 other listings will just drop to the bottom and not really have any visibility, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, looking at the search results here, maybe it's like a very unique search term. I looked up this search term, I couldn't replicate the results, but we'll try it in a second again to show you. And it is against a generic listing policy. You're not allowed to make multiple listings for the same item. So this is not allowed. And in terms of regulations, for products that are not plugged into the wall, as in not plugged into the mains AC 110 volts, then it's much less regulated, because if you need to plug into the wall, into the mains AC, then you'll need to have UL or ETL listing, which is very expensive. Most Chinese companies, smaller ones at least, won't do it because it's just such a big investment to get those certifications. If it's let's say, a small gadget or like something that's not powered or something that's battery powered, all you really need is an FCC certification that's quite cheap. A couple $1,000s would get it passed. So those are not as regulated. And even if it is regulated, Amazon could ask you for it once you have a high volume of sales, and getting an FCC certification is quite easy. And oftentimes, many Chinese certification companies can do it for you, and Amazon would accept it. Let's try to find this search term. I'm not going to say it just because it may be not kid friendly. So let's just, you can see I already tried some of this. Oops, sorry. Let's try this. Let's see. And looking at the search term of what was shown in this post, I can already see that it's a lot of different products, not the same results. It is possible the seller just went to the back, but just looking at, I'm going to pull down some data, extract some information from the first page. You can see that a lot of these are different brands, different products. You can see that every single thing is a brand, not a single generic branded listing is in the top 16. And you can see these are all quite different products. So as it's kind of making a lot of generic listings will automatically mean you can box out the competition. That's not true, because you need to have sales volume, you need to be able to rank your listings in order to get to the top of the search page. And if you're not in the first or second page, it doesn't really matter how many listings you have, because it's what you have impressions for and not the volume of listings you have. I'm just going to pull the next page data, see if we can find any more generic listings for this search term. And as you can see here, no more, not a single generic brand. So it appears the base case is the generic listing hack is not efficient or effective in boxing out the competition and with the end goal of increasing sales. And the reason is you need to have ranking in competitive search terms in order to have your listing have impressions and climb to the first or second page search results. So by the definite, unless you can rank 20 generic listings, which is very difficult because you're selling the same thing, why would someone buy from different listings when one would have the rank and would show more, and they would just go to the one that has better rank and more visibility, right? So I don't see how that's possible to use this generic listing hack unless you're in a search term that has no competition. Then perhaps this would work. But in most cases, most search terms with sales volume will have competition, and as a result, the generic listing hack will not work. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, please consider subscribing, giving me a thumbs up, or sharing this video. It takes very little effort from you, makes a massive impact on how YouTube ranks my content. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.